Hi everyone, it's Christy, and today I'm doing my 13-week pregnancy update. And last week, as you know, I was sick, and obviously it continued into this week, and it was really bad. It was more like a cold, and obviously I couldn't really take anything, so it was kind of bad. But the worst thing is that I couldn't breathe, so I couldn't smell and I couldn't taste anything. So obviously, like, I lost my appetite even more, and I had absolutely no cravings this week for food, for any kind of food. I was lucky if I ate because I could barely breathe. You know, when you can't breathe, you can't eat. It's not enjoyable. So yeah, so that kind of sucked this week. But one thing that was kind of good is that I felt like my breasts are less tender and they're not as swollen, which I don't know how that's possible, but obviously it went down a little bit, so that made it so much more comfortable for me. It was just slightly tender, so it was definitely better than it was. A huge thing that I did was like start looking for maternity clothes because I feel like my clothes are I have a lot of things that are stretchy, like leggings and tops and stuff like that. But I really can't wear jeans because even where the button is, it kind of like digs in to where the baby is, and it's really uncomfortable. So I wanted to start looking because I know that eventually I'm gonna need them. So I need like summer, and I need obviously like fall, winter, because I'm not gonna have this baby until probably like the end of November, December. So I definitely am gonna need some clothes. I started looking around and they really don't have anything. Like, I was in Old Navy and they had like the smallest little section. I couldn't even find it, first of all. Then when I found it, it was the tiniest little section I've ever seen in my whole life. I don't know why. They hardly have any clothes, and the clothes that they had was so expensive. I was like, why would I spend that kind of money on one piece of clothing? I just couldn't do it. So I decided, not to buy anything right now. And like, my sister said that she has some for me, so hopefully I'll get some from her, and I won't need to like buy a lot. But I do have a lot of clothes that work, especially right now. A lot of like leggings and stuff like that. It works. Even like yoga pants and what else am I wearing? I don't know. I guess thank God for the styles that are in, because they really are maternity friendly. So I'm happy about that. So yeah, and also I'm still really not showing. It's still the same. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not showing yet. I guess it's really too early. I mean, it's still early. So what else? Um, I hurt my back. I have back problems to begin with, and I really believe that it stems from me having an epidural with my first daughter. When I had that epidural when I was in labor with her, it did some damage to my spine. So ever since then, I've had back problems, and it will travel like up and down. It started at the lower back, and then it moves its way up, and it's always like different spots. And I pull it like I would say like 3 months. I probably pull it out, and I pulled it out probably because I was sick too. Because every time I'm sick, it kind of like travels to my back. I know that sounds weird, but it really does. And it was in the center of my back, and I was, oh my god, I was in such pain, and I knew not to take like Tylenol because it doesn't work. So I was looking at taking icy hot because that's usually what I would use, but I wasn't sure if it's safe. Then I started researching it, and a lot of it was like in between. There was people that said that it was safe and it wasn't safe. Like, some said it was safe up until like the third trimester. Then if you're in your third trimester, you don't want to use it. So I didn't know what to do, so I didn't use it. But I did read I have a paper of like medications you could use, and it did say to use Bengay, but I don't have any. So I might have to pick up some. Um, but I'll have to ask my doctor's office just in case, because I don't want to just use anything and it's dangerous. So yeah, and that happened over the weekend. So I really couldn't like call them. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of sucked. But I'm feeling better now. Um, my dry lips, oh my god, it got worse. It actually I now have a crack on the right side of my mouth. I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm gonna have to ask the doctor because it's really annoying me, but it is getting better. And by the way, if you have like dry cracked lips, because I've tried several products, I've tried EOS, which doesn't really work. And I've tried Aquaphor, which, you know, they say Aquaphor is really good, like the lip balm. So I tried that, it didn't work because I think it's too greasy. But anyway, this is really good. It's by Blistex, and it's in this like blue packaging. They have a gazillion of them, by the way. If you're in the store and you don't know what to pick, it's like a nightmare. I was there for like 20 minutes. But anyway, it's called Simple and Sensitive. So it has no SPF. That's what I was looking for, like a product with no SPF in it, because I don't want to irritate my lips even further, and I feel like those have chemicals in it, so that's why I picked this. It has like no extra kind of chemicals in it. It just has like aloe vera and vitamin like E and stuff like that. So I really feel like this is helping. So in case you have dry lips and you want something like more natural, and I mean obviously it's not organic or anything, but it definitely has less chemicals than the other stuff. So I would, you know, recommend probably picking this up. And it was only 98 cents at Walmart. So yeah, it's cheap. It's only $1. What else? I don't really know. I had one day, it was so scary, where I went to the bathroom and I seen like spotting, but it was brown. It wasn't like bright red. So I did a little research before I panicked, and they said that it's probably normal and not to freak out about it. So I just, you know, would keep going to the bathroom to check, and it was fine. It went away. So I don't know what that's from. Hopefully nothing serious. Obviously it wasn't like I was bleeding. It wasn't even like, it was only when I wiped, which is probably disgusting to mention, but I don't know if that happens to any of you. Like now that I'm in my second trimester, it's making me nervous, because like if it happens in your second trimester, then it could be a problem. So I don't know if anybody has like that problem and they know what it is or has some advice for me, let me know, because I'd really like to know. And I think well, that's not really it, because like this week I've had, I call it like a pregnancy peeve, which is like when things bother you, and I think it's my hormones, so that's why I'm calling it a pregnancy peeve. But I've had several people when I talk to them that have mentioned other people and they call them fat, and that word fat is irritating me like you would not believe. I don't know, I can't stand it when people call other people fat. I hate it. Especially now, like that's my, yeah, peeve of the week is the word fat. Like when you call somebody fat, it's so disrespectful and it's so mean. And it seems like people only do that when they don't like a person. They'll call them fat. Instead of like picking any other quality that they have that they don't like, they'll pick on their weight. And it's so ridiculous. And the people that have called the other people fat, because I've had 2 people that have done this, and they're not skinny at all. And it's amazing. It's like you should not be calling somebody fat if you're not skinny, you know? And like what I've learned is that I'm not skinny by any means. I'm not huge either, but I certainly will not stand there and call somebody fat, because you could be skinny one day and fat the next, and you could be in that same position. So I would not, you know, that's me though. I don't think it's right. It's not right to be calling people fat, especially like if you don't like them in a certain way. Like that's not a reason to call them fat. So yeah, so that's my pregnancy peeve of the week, is the word fat. And that's it. I'm gonna insert a belly picture somewhere, probably like at the end of this video. So hopefully I will, you know, get to see you guys again. I know that like my next appointment is not till the end of June, and I don't know what we're doing at that appointment. I think it's going to be my 16-week appointment, and I think that it said something about a blood test, but it also said like if you didn't have the birth defect test, that you'd have to get that test. So I don't know. I don't really know if I'm going to get that test or not. And I'm a little curious. I'm also quite nervous because I was talking to my neighbor yesterday, and her grandson has Down syndrome, and I was asking her if her daughter got tested for it, because I know it's optional to get that test, and she is like 5 years younger than me, and her son is going to be 8 this year. So she had him a long time ago, obviously, 8 years ago. So she was like 23 when she had him, and he had that. You know, he's born like that. So obviously it's not something related to age. So I had asked her if she had gotten a test for it, and she told me yeah, and everything was fine. and nothing like showed up. So I started getting nervous. So now I'm gonna ask the doctor about that, just to like double check. But you know, you never could trust her, because obviously, like, I trust what she says. The thing is that some people just don't know what they're talking about, and obviously it wasn't her that got the test, it was her daughter. So I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. So I really would like to ask her daughter about it, but it's making me nervous. I know I'm being like paranoid about this, because like I took the test, I got the blood work. Oh, that was another thing. I don't know if I mentioned, I finally got the blood work back. I got it back on, like, today obviously is Tuesday, and I got it back on Thursday of last week. So I got it back, and one thing that I mentioned, well, obviously I'll tell you, it came out negative. So that means that no birth defects, like the Down syndrome came back negative, and then there was another test that they do, which is also like a genetic type of chromosomal disorder, and that came back also negative. So it looked like I'm in the clear. But I think I mentioned that my doctor's office, like when I go in for my appointments, they never say how like my blood work goes and stuff like that, and I was a little nervous about that. But the reason is that I actually, which is really cool, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but I live in New York, and the place that I go to is like this big healthcare system or whatever, and they actually email you the lab results, so you can actually read it all yourself and see exactly what level you're at, and they have the ranges. And I mean, it's kind of weird though, because you know, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, and I shouldn't be evaluating, you know, the results. Honestly, like, I shouldn't be doing that, but I like the fact that I can actually see it, and it has a history of it. So if I ever log into it, I can actually see every single blood test and all the results. So if I have to go somewhere else by any chance, I have that information. I could probably print it out. So that was one thing that I realized is probably why they don't tell me at the doctor's office, because I get that email and I already see the results and everything comes back, you know, either good or bad, and obviously so far it's good. So yeah, so that's it. I know that this video is kind of like all over the place, but there was kind of a lot that I wanted to talk about. If you have any questions for me, you can let me know down below. Yeah, I'm really excited that I'm finally in my second trimester, I believe. I would also like if anybody knows a really good like app that you could use on your phone for the pregnancy, because I've seen a couple. I'm not really sure which one I would pick, and I just want to know if anybody has gone through a few of them and they like a particular one over another, because I would like to start using that, because I do know that like one of them said that June 5th was when I got into my second trimester. So I'd like to kind of keep track of that, and I think that's a good tool to use. So I'm so like excited that I'm at least like 1/3 of the way there. You know, I got two-thirds more to go, and then I can't wait. I just can't wait, and I'm so excited. I can't wait for the 20 weeks, because I can't wait to find out if it's a boy or a girl, which I personally think it's a girl. I think you just know, but we'll see. I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, I know what it is, and then all of a sudden it's something else. So yeah, so that's it. Sorry if I babbled too long. I'll see you next time. Bye.